Yeah, so now let's go ahead and now after you're ready to be a leader, now let's start talking about reports. Now, the reason why reports are so important is this. What do you want me to do?
Will you plug it in? Sorry, we have to watch our daughter on the monitor.
So the reason why pulling reports is so important is this, and I say this all the time. You recognize the behaviors you want to create, all right? So within Scentsy, what are the behaviors that you need to recognize, all right? You recognize the behaviors that's going to promote somebody to the next title. You don't focus on the title, but at the end of the day, you got to focus on the behaviors that get somebody to the next title. So you're going to see me talk about in these reports why I filter things certain way, why I have columns set the way that they're set, because what I coach into Chloe is we're focusing on behaviors that's going to catapult somebody to the next level. Now, what are those behaviors? It's very simple. It's the 3 legs of the stool. All right? It is PRV. All right? So you're going to see me go into an additional filter that focuses on a minimum of 500 PRV for some levels, and then for some levels, it's going to be higher. All right? It's going to be active frontline. Now, I don't have a filter for new recruits. Do you want to know why? The reason why I don't focus on new recruits is because in 90 days, are they still going to be active? I focus on active frontline because guess what? Active frontline is what gets you promoted, not new recruits. All right? You could have $750 of PRV, 7 recruits in 1 month, but you're still not going to show up on my report because you don't have the active frontline. Because active frontline is what's going to get you to the next level.
Well, and it's a direct correlation of your leadership. When people, and it's not in a bad way, but I want you to understand, active frontline is a reflection of you. It's not a reflection of anything or anybody except yourself. You only have so much control over your frontline. But when I look at my frontline, I always want to have 186. And with a lot of them, I always focus on, okay, if I have 50% active, I know that I'm somewhat on the right track. If your front line is not at least half of them are active every month, half, 60% even, then you need to look at yourself. Quit looking at them. Quit trying to save the 3 frontline you have that aren't working and bring new people in. You have got to realize, like Justin said, this is a business where you are constantly sponsoring. So if you think that you can just sponsor 3 people and it's going to happen, you're wrong. I've sponsored 6 this month and I've been in it 8 years. It does not stop.
I said something last year that I think, and I never followed up on it, I should have, but Scentsy did a join special for $20. I said, okay, everybody was excited because they were getting all these recruits. And then on our training, I said, hey, guess what? I want to see how many of those recruits are still here come fall.
Okay, that was last year. It was a $15 joint special. So
and literally, I did the calculation finally. 90% of the people that everybody recruited fell off in the fall. And so what I'm saying, you know, you'll hear me say quality versus quantity. And since you have to have quality to find the people because you can find stuff. But what I'm saying is this right here. With the parameters you're about to see me share on this report, you're going to see it's very focused on active frontline. It's very focused on GWV until you hit director. And then after director, you're going to see it focus heavily on TWV. Now, why is that important? As a director, you still have to have a strong team, which means you still have to recruit, which means you still have to go out and work like an essential consultant, which is why you're going to see me even when you get to superstar director. When we coach and when you get to this, let's just say you're a superstar director. The purpose of the coaching for superstar director at that point is building wealth and continue to develop in 3rd generation, 2nd generation, and 1st generation directors, because that's the mindset you have to have. So the reports that I'm about to show you for us is geared around high level leadership. But what I want to try to show you guys tonight, and just to preface this, I did the recording of the reports earlier because I'm trying to blur out sensitive information. So if some information does pop up, because I'm going to try to block that from happening, but if it does, I'm sorry, please. I'm so sorry if it does. I'm just trying to help somebody out. But what I'm going to say is this, you know, I do the reports a certain way, focusing on the right behaviors. You recognize, and I'll say this all the time, you recognize the behaviors you want to create. So without further ado, I am going to show it. So let me do this. And I'm going to get it to the point of where it's at the beginning of the workstation.
Okay, so you gotta share screen.
I am. I'm going to share it right now.
Here.
Share screen.
Okay. I needed to click that, though, to make that go through. Okay.
All right, there you go. All right. So, okay. This is something I did earlier from a reporting standpoint, and I'm going to make it like this. I just want to make sure. Okay. So I blurred out, obviously, what Chloe and I've done. So when you log into your workstation, this is how it's going to look. All right. So what I do want to say, hold on, let me make sure. Can you guys, I just want to confirm, can you guys see our screen right now? Somebody respond with yes. I just want to make sure. Okay. Yes, they can. All right. So this is what you're going to see when you log into the screen. All right. Some of you guys that are not SSDs are going to have something here at the top that says promotion that you can click on to see what you need to get to the next step. What I want to say is this before I go any further with this. You have to understand the compensation plan. If you don't understand the compensation plan, you are not going to be able to generate reports that are going to be effective. The activity is pulling the reports. The effectiveness is knowing how to filter the reports and actually pull people that are worth coaching.
Yep.
Everybody is worth coaching, but the people that are actually doing activities to create the way you can coach the effectiveness. As a coach on that A times E equals R, the only thing you focus on is the E, okay? You can tweak their activities if they're not good. However, they have to learn how to do the PRV activities, the recruiting activities, and the coaching activities that's going to work for them. So you have to just coach on the effectiveness, okay? As a coach, you focus on the E. So I'll say that again. So these reports are driven towards the E, how we can make them be more effective, okay? That is your job as a coach. All right, so now I am going to try to skip forward and not show any personal information. So the first, what I'm going to show right here, and you guys can see my mouse on the screen, hopefully. Can you guys see my mouse move? I just want to make sure you can see my mouse move. Like, yeah, okay. All right. So do you see this little thing up here that's called reporting? Okay, I'm doing this, I believe training needs to be done at a 4th grade level. So for some of you guys, you may know this.
Justin, act like they don't. These are
so I'm acting like nobody knows how to do it. So reporting is how you get to the meat. All right. Now I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit to get to. I know. Yeah, I'm just gonna skip ahead to the point where I get to the reports.
You need to show how to get to it. You need to go back.
Right here. All right. So after you click on reporting, this is what's gonna come up. Now, all 3 of these are very important. All right. The reason why they're important is especially if you don't have a team of 7,000, but you still have a team of like 25 to 100, something more manageable. You can click on view team, see anybody who has a birthday that month. If you want to send them a shout out, do a little text message, you can do that. And also, if you are struggling with the first leg, PRV, this sales report that's down here, you can click on this sales report and you can get anybody who has ordered a Bring Back My Bar that's coming back, something to where you can get people on Scentsy Club. Guys, look, in Scentsy Club, from the first leg of the standpoint, I'm a firm believer in Scentsy Club. Scentsy Club should be something that you get active with. Everybody needs to strive as their goal. So if you want a goal, your goal should be able to use this sales report right now. If you do not have, if you're struggling to get PRV every month, you need to focus on Scentsy Club, and you need to focus on getting $500 in Scentsy Club orders every month. And guess what? You can do that from your sales report. Guess what? Bring Back My Bars are coming back. Guess what Scentsy Club offers? If banana nut bread is somebody's favorite scent, guess what? They will always get their bar if they sign up for Scentsy Club. So if you are struggling with PRV, and if you're struggling with building a good customer base and where you can recruit for them, that is where you do that at. Okay, and that's a bonus for tonight. I wasn't even going to talk about that.
I'm going to stop and say, yeah, I'm actually doing a training for our group with Scentsy Club next month. Y'all just don't know that yet. But if you were that person, you're like, I don't know what it is. Listen, I'm going to say something that's going to hurt some feelings. If you want to be a leader, you need to act like it. Stop waiting and acting. One of my biggest pet peeves I couldn't stand with certain leaders in Scentsy is when they would say, I don't know. I don't know. Figure it out. Go on your workstation. Type in the search bar, Scentsy Club, and watch every freaking training you can until you're a master. And then guess what? You need to enroll in it.
Yep.
Because how can you sell something that you don't understand what it is? We have, I think right now, 10 Scentsy Club subscribers. My goal next month is to get it to 25.
Because my goal is to get it to where we don't have to worry about customers so much, and we can just focus on recruiting them to where we get like to $1,000 in Scentsy Club. That's a vision.
Well, we can definitely do that. But I'm saying, if you're that person right now and you're like, I don't know what it is, you need to go on your workstation, Don't be like, oh, my sponsor didn't teach me. Who cares? You need to get on Workstation and use the search engine and type Scentsy Club and learn the ins and out of it. And then you need to sign up, because you're not going to be able to sell something that you literally have zero idea what it is. You're the business owner. And I'm saying that out of love and respect, but we have to stop saying, I don't know. Figure it, like, click on the search engine, type it in, learn about it.
Yeah, and look, this is going to make you a better leader. Like I said, always ask questions, but Chloe, I try to instill in her is this. Use a 24-hour rule. If somebody asks you a question that is easily accessible from the Workstation, wait 24 hours. If they haven't found it by then, it's a will issue, not a skill issue. Anybody has the skill to go on the Workstation and find something. Everything you need to be successful. Look, here's the thing. Scentsy gives you guys all the tools you need to be a superstar director without anybody coaching you. That may be hard for somebody to hear, but they do, all right? We did it, all right? Scentsy gives you the tools to be successful with zero coaching. They have training, they have videos, they have that. So it is a will issue if somebody is asking you what a perpetual party award is, what host credits are, what Scentsy, what Shooting Star is, what Sensational Start is. If anybody is asking you those questions, you have a will issue and you need to fix that right now as a leader in them and create them to be a positive energy and not an energy vampire. Just going to say that. Okay, moving on. So now what we're going to do is after you go through and pick these up, you're going to click on the View My Performance, and this is where the meat and potatoes comes in, okay? You click on View My Performance, and this comes up. Obviously, I try to blur out everything we can so you don't see anything, so I don't have to put income disclosure up on this, all right? Now, on the left-hand side, where my mouse is, there is the most important buttons that you have. Don't worry about my Save Leadership reports. These are just all the reports that I have saved. Don't worry about those. I'll get those into a second. But on your dashboard, once you click on View My Performance, this is what comes up. You have a Start Leadership report and a Start Downline report, which is way down here. Now, what's the difference? All right, for a certified consultant, probably nothing. For a lead consultant, probably nothing. Now, for a star, superstar, and director, maybe, because you may have some rock stars under you that promote to director. But the main difference is anybody in this leadership report up here is you are their director.
Or you're their leader.
Yeah, you are going to show up under them. You are whatever there is. That means there is not a director in between you guys, okay? They are going to be here. So if you are new, just starting off, you have 10 people, the leadership report is going to be the same as your downline report, all right? Now, when you become a director, star director, superstar director, and you start getting 5, 6 directors under you, whatever, that's where the downline report is going to start to get very important, especially as star director. And the reason why I say as star director is because you start getting paid off second generation directors, okay? And this is where I think the confusion may come in. And I'm pausing this video here for this. You know, as leaders, directors and above, you start getting paid off TWV for other leaders, meaning directors and above. So what you have to start doing when you have first generation directors as a director, really as a superstar consultant, is you need to start learning how to use these reports to start looking second, third, and fourth generations down, or 4 levels down if you don't have any directors, okay? Which is what I'm about to show you guys, all right? So if you are a certified to a star consultant, I would say your Start Leadership report is where all your save reports should be, is up here, which is I'm going to show you. So what I'm going to show you guys is what I recorded earlier, is how to find potential lead consultants is what I did, because I feel like that's very important. I'm a firm believer is and I heard this from Chuck Thompson. You know, me and him sat down and we're talking about our hyper growth that we've been having. And he said, you know, one thing that he's noticed out of a lot of successful consultants is they always have 4 lead consultants under them at all times. They always have at least 4 lead minimums. And I was like, you know what? That makes a lot of sense, because that means they show leadership potential. So I'm going to show you guys how to do the potential lead consultant. And guess what, guys? You can do this because it's right out of the commission. It's right on your commission chart. If you want to know how to find lead consultants that's within your stewardship, you just put parameters in, which I'm going to show you how to do, which is right out of the commission chart, okay? But I'm saying that to say this. So anybody up to a star consultant, the star leadership report is going to be your friend. Superstar consultant all the way up to SSD, the downlight report is going to be your friend, because you have to start developing deep stewardship and deep family trees. Your frontline is still very important. However, you have to start developing deep families once you get to that level, because that's how you're going to build wealth and change more lives. All right, so now let me move forward. I just got to make sure that I'm not sharing any personal information. All right, so let me go forward.
What are you clicking?
Hold on, I'm just fast forwarding through this to try to find.
It's all the same. You can't see.
No, hold on. Yeah, I can. Right here, it's got to change. All right, right here. All right, so this is when I click on the potential lead consultant report that I have saved. So this is something that I have saved. All right.
So show them how to.
All right, so this is a report that I clicked on here on the left side that's going to show you guys how to do it. Now, I'm about to show you in the next couple of slides how I made this report, okay? So this is when I click on this report. This is the importance of saving these reports, because it automatically shows me who has promoted to lead. So as you can see, Chloe and I, you know, and I have half of it blurred out or whatever. You can't see who it is. But what I have done is you can see where I clicked on potential lead consultants. So these are people who are not lead consultant already. These are people who are essential and certified consultants who have hit parameters or may have already promoted. Okay, so out of everybody that's on this report that's hitting the parameters, every single one of them have already promoted, and it's almost the end of the month to either lead. And look, we have one that, what is that, a double promotion to start?
She just did that, yeah.
Yeah, so that's something that we can see and we can celebrate. So that's why these reports are very important, especially when you start to get a bigger and bigger team, but even a smaller, so you can celebrate the successes.
At certified.
Yeah, literally, you can start celebrating them. So how did I do that? All right, I'm going to tell you guys. All right, so let me get to the good part right here. Okay, so I'm going to stop at about right here. So do you see this thing where it says choose visible columns? Okay, because a lot of you guys.
Wait, let's back up. So they're going to click what?
So this is where you click Start Leadership Report first, is how you start creating these reports. So you have to start with clicking Start Leadership Report. And so basically what I'm doing is backtracking. So for those who want to look at anybody that they are direct stewardship with, you do it at Start Leadership Report. So this could be a working training. If you are on this training live, make this report right now.
Yep.
Make it right now as we're doing this. I am going to go through this slow. That's why I pre-recorded the video so you guys can do it with me. Make a report and call it Potential Lead Certified, and I'm going to show you how to do it. So what you do is you log into your workstation, you go into your Performance tab, and you click on My Performance, and you click Start Leadership Report, okay? And I'm about to show you guys how to do it. Now, here's the thing. You see this thing that's called Choose Visible Columns? This is talking about the behaviors you want to create, okay? So the Choose Visible Columns are some behaviors that you want to focus on, all right? So you click on that Choose Visible Columns. So you click Start Leadership Report, then you click Choose Visible Columns, all right? And then this is going to pop up right here, and I'm going to show you. This is going to pop up, all right? All of these things are going to pop up that you guys can do, all right? You see this little minus sign that's going to have a bunch of stuff that's nonsense. Their consultant ID, never important. You don't need that. Take the consultant ID out. Why do you need that on a report? It doesn't make any sense. But their name, their cell phone number, their title, and projected rank is what's important.
So yes, so let me tell you, because this is why I look at it this way. I want the name, and then I want the number, because I want to be able to, like, there's people on here right now that I'm going to pull and text tomorrow. This is the team report, right?
Yeah, this is the leadership report.
We're doing all team
That's why I said leadership is more important for anybody that's not at least a superstar consultant or a director.
And even if you're a director, you start at team.
Yes.
You start at team, and then you go to group, because your team is the TWB. It's very important. But I have the name. Beside that, I have the cell phone number. I want to text them. Listen, we have got to get off Facebook Messenger. I know some of y'all do it, so take it with a light heart, but understand, you're only going to connect so much and build trust so much with these people. If you are staying on Facebook Messenger, pull off of that. Be more, you want to know what a one-on-one is? One-on-one, start with texting them. You should be texting these people. You have access to their phone number. If they're not your frontline, it's fine. Like you need to text them. And for me, I don't even check Facebook messages anymore. I had to stop about a year ago because hundreds and hundreds and hundreds got in there. So now my team knows they get my phone number. Like they have access to my email. So that's very intentional why I have that cell phone number. I want to build that relationship, and many people are on here right now, and I don't Facebook message you, I will text you. So number, projected rank. Projected rank is showing that someone promoted before reports run from Scentsy on the 10th of the next month. That way you know who was promoted beforehand. People will say, how do you know what promoted? Who promoted? Look at projected rank. You can see their current title. Projected rank is where they promoted. It's going to show you.
And it can show you that too. Sorry, my dad put a post on one of my Facebook things that got me all emotional. Okay. But that's why it's important to always start with choose visible columns, because you want to recognize the behaviors you want to create. Sorry, I'm kind of taking that.
Okay, well, you shouldn't be reading text messages right now.
So that's why you can go through and add everything. And so, like, there's other things you can add.
Okay.
The sponsor name is very important whenever it is your team. So when it's your team, the sponsor, because there's no directors in between you guys. So you want to know who their sponsor is. So the first step is, in following the lineage, is just making sure that you always contact the sponsor first and say, hey, have you talked to this freaking girl that's a leader or whatever that's under you? So that way you can coach the coach. That's the purpose of coach to coach. You coach them to make sure that they know that they're identifying the right behaviors.
And guess what? When you've already coached the coach and they're a star consultant or an SSC and you know they're not performing, you can see the name and be like, oh, they're under that person. I need to grab this person and take them under my wing because I know that they're not getting what they need. Not in a bad way, but in a business way. So everything on the left where it says item selected. So look, go right here. Where it says item selected. This is important. You guys aren't going to know this because you've never done these reports. And so honestly, too, if you have questions, you need to comment and tell Justin to stop because, you know,
please tell me to stop because I go too fast.
They're very quick, and men sometimes don't. They feel like we should know, and I'm not good at this stuff. So literally don't sit silent over there. You have a question, you need to comment. So you're going to, they click start leadership report, right?
Yep, start leadership report, and then they click choose visible columns, and then this pops up.
So to change it, so you're going to not have just these an item selected.
No,
okay?
That's why you can get a bunch of stuff out of there, like generation, level, all that stuff is not important unless you're just trying to identify your front line, which I'm going to show you guys how to do.
Can we not just play this so they can see how to take it?
No, because some sensitive stuff is going to come up. So but it's fine because I'm explaining it.
They don't know how to drag. They probably don't even know how to drag.
You see this minus right here? That's how you take something out. This plus right here is how you add something.
You can also drag it. Okay, so
I would do minus and plus. Don't worry about dragging because sometimes it gets squirrely and it won't go in the way you want it to go in.
But you can also rearrange. So where it says item selected right here. This is what the report we're saving, okay? This is the report we're saving. So this item selected is going to have a bunch of other nonsense in it. What we recommend is name, number, title, projected rank, PRV, GWV. They're not a director yet. You're not worried about TWV. Active front
And you'll notice we don't have new recruits on here because you know what? It doesn't matter because as a coach, you're focused on the effectiveness, not the activity. You're focused on how effective somebody is doing.
At recruiting. It's not about if somebody recruits 6
Recruiting
people.
is very important for the leg because you have to have it. But as a leader, what you're identifying is, yes, they need to be doing the activity of recruiting, but how strong is their team and are they growing active frontline?
Yes, okay? So active frontline and then sponsor name. Because again, you want to coach the coach. You want to know who their sponsor is. If you've never worked with their sponsor before and you're super new at these one-on-ones and these intentional talks, these coaching calls, you're going to reach the sponsor first out of respect, and you're going to give them the opportunity to coach them first so y'all can make a plan. And you can ask them the hard questions using the coaching forms we're going to go over so they can identify if they even want to be a leader, and then you can be honest with them and ask them. Again, I know this stuff is going to be hard for you, but it'll get easier over time. You need to ask them, look, I want to know, like, you have this mad potential, right? You want to praise before you kind of tell them things constructively. You have some really awesome potential, Chloe. You have a rock star under you. Jessica just promoted to lead. I want to know, have you started doing,
or do you even know who she is? Like,
yeah,
you know
have you started working with your team? I would love to get on the phone with you, and I would love to talk to help you get to that next level. That is how I lead someone into a coaching call. And it's very important that you understand, if they say no, it is okay. If they ignore you, if they don't want you to work with them, you're going to reach over Chloe and you're going to work with Jessica, because you gave them the respect to say you wanted to work with them first. So, and Tiff, if you copy that question and paste it at the end, I'm going to answer that, because we're going to do a Q&A.
All right, so now moving forward, just because I'm trying to be sensitive all the time, after you go through and you sort through and you do everything, okay, you hit okay, and then it's going to populate.
It's going to do this.
Yep, and so it's going to populate, and then it's going to show this. So this is something that was already on our screen, but for you, this is how it's going to look. Now, what I'm going to show you guys is how to set the parameters. So you see this thing here that says additional filter options.
Y'all see that? Comment.
Additional filter options. Additional filter options right here. This is so important.
Go back real quick. So just to go back, because some of y'all were asking about the visible columns, you're going to click.
Okay.
You're going to click Start Leadership Report.
Yes, you start, number one, Start Leadership Report. Then you go to Choose Visible Columns. It's right there. It says it.
This pops up.
This will pop up. Then you select the columns, which is right here. That is the behaviors that actually promote people.
So listen, this is something, and I know there's going to be people that are going to do their own thing, and that's fine. But we know what we're doing. So this right here, the item selected, you can change your parameters.
And this is for people that are not at director.
Yes.
This is superstar consultants and below, because it's GWB.
But you need to know that these items selected, every single one of them is important, and every single one of them needs to be on your report. There is a reason why. So you're going to hit OK. It'll save. Moving on.
Yeah, so hit OK, and then it's going to save, and then it's going to look like this. It's going to have everything you selected. Now, this additional filter options is where you get into the meat and potatoes, okay? All right, because after you do that, after you do Start Leadership Report, it's still going to have everybody. It's not going to have just the people you're looking for from a rank perspective. It's going to have everybody that's under you. So if you want to identify the leads, here's what you do. All right, after you click additional filter options, this thing's going to pop up. All right, and then I'm going to get that blurred thing off there. So this is going to pop up. Now, this, if you guys want to know what I said as a parameter for the potential lead consultant report, these are my parameters. I look for a minimum of 500 in PRV, a minimum GWV of 750, because to be a lead, you have to at least have 1,000, and you only have to have one active frontline as a lead. So I already have that in there. And the reason why I already have one active frontline in there, because if they are a certified consultant and have already recruited, they're showing the behaviors that need to be recognized so we can start focusing on the effectiveness. All right. So,
but in saying that, so if your team, if you want to operate your parameters different, if you want to do 250, go ahead.
Yeah.
But that's not a leadership quality.
No, 2,000 is a leadership quality. However, if you're just starting off, 500 is what you need to at least hit to get paid at title. So I put 500 just to be nice, just so we can at least coach on getting them to 2,000. Okay. Now, another thing I do right here where it says titles. And yes, it is possible to save, and I'm about to show you that. No, Tina, you can save them, and then every time you click on the report on the left, it's going to be saved, but I'm about to show you how to do that. All right, so right here where it says titles, in the video I didn't do it, but I'm telling you right now, you click this, and it's going to have all titles highlighted. You just unclick it, and to find out who's about to be a lead, you only need to click on Essential and Certified. That way you can see anybody who is not at least a lead or higher. It's only going to show your certified and lead consultants. That way you can coach the effectiveness of the activities that the people are doing that are essential and certified to get them to lead. Okay? That's what you do. After you set the parameters like I just set, you hit Run Report. All right? When you hit Run Report, this is going to pop up. And it's going to show everything that we just talked about. Okay? It's going to have everything on here that you need. It's going to show everybody that is at least a title right now in the month as an essential or a certified, and it's going to show what they're projected to be. All right. So like I said, anybody, so this is right now for the month of May. All these people are at least essential or certified in our group. And look, we have a star, somebody double promoted. We have leads, and we have one more person that's certified, but look, they are pretty close to getting to that, and they already have one active frontline, so that puts them in a better position to where they're getting that. So it's about coaching the behaviors to get them to where they are. And we have their sponsor name over here so we can reach out to their sponsors and say, hey, look, are you doing this? And if it's us, are we doing what we need to do? All right. So hopefully that was very informational, very in-depth. I've not done a report training this in-depth, so we'll have a Q&A at the end. But this is something for people that are potential lead. Now, I've done another one. And then, okay, let me show you how to save it. All right.
Yeah, that's
very important.
Not do that?
So after you do this and have it, you can save it. So do you see this little thing? It says choose visible columns. Then it says save report right here. You hit save report. Guess what? Then this comes up. After you hit save report, this comes up. Name it whatever you want to. I suggest naming it people that are about to be lead, whatever you want it to be. You do lead consultant, then you hit save. After you hit save, guess what? It's going to show up over here under Save Downline Reports. And guess what? The parameters are saved. Everything is saved. And you can pull that report up the 1st of the month, the 15th of the month. It doesn't matter when you do it. You pull it up, and those parameters are saved, so you can identify who's about to hit lead consultant.
So show them what to click then if they're going in. Do you have that in here? If they're going into the lead one, what do they click? Just run report. So y'all can tell I don't pull
if you're going into report then, so after you have it saved, you see down here, there's going to be the save leadership report under leadership report. This thing right here, that's the report I just saved down here at the bottom. You see me circling it with my mouse? It says potential lead consultant. You click that, this pops up, everything. It could be May, April, June, Timber. I don't care. Any month you want it to be.
So they don't have to click run report or go. It just automatically
as soon as you go into my workstation, you click that, it automatically goes to it. And it is there.
And it's nice, guys, because look, your workstation is, this leadership report can get very overwhelming. And if you...
But it doesn't have to be.
No. So I'm saying if you don't have these reports
Katrina,
saved,
yes. Do you see this little delete report right here?
Yeah.
You go to a report that you accidentally created, you click on it, you hit delete report, it takes it off to where you don't have it no more.
But this allows you to go to one space. So say you as a leader, you should have like designated days and like you should have a schedule for when you're doing team stuff.
Once a week, pull up.
I do it the second.
The last week of the month, I pull these reports every day and print it for Chloe.
Okay, so and what I do is last 10 days of the month we print these every day. I'm visual. I got to pull off the internet. I got to look at it. I got to highlight it. I have to circle it. I have to do all that stuff.
They can't see that because they're screen share.
Well, but I'm saying, when you look at it like this, you're clicking on one thing. You're not swirling and going all over the place. You've got to really learn how to focus as a leader early on. So, yeah. So, we have, I guess, tell them the other ones.
So this is some other important things that we have. So for all titles, I have a potential certified, potential star, potential SSCs.
And it's the same.
And it's the same things. It's the same. Nothing changes.
It's the same visible columns.
For our leadership report, nothing changes from a standpoint of the leadership report and the filter options. So let me go back to the filter options real quick because I'm going to explain to you.
Hang on. But what's going to change is the parameters.
The parameters change for each level. So obviously, now, if I want to see who are going to be my potential star consultants, I keep the PRV the same, but my GWV is going to change to 1,500 instead of 750 because that means they're close, and my active frontline is going to change to 2. Because that's what you need. You recognize the behaviors you want to create in order to get somebody to the next level. Now, and then I'm going to change my titles to where it's essential, certified, and leads. And anything star and above, I get rid of because I want to see who's about to hit star. For superstar consultant, what I do, it's 500. The GWV is going to be, honestly, it's probably going to be $3,500. And I'll do that. And Katrina, I'll post later on what I use for all my parameters. But what I do.
I already wrote it down, guys. I know a man's brain, and I know what y'all need. I already have it on a sticky note. It's going to go.
I'll put the parameters on like a Word document and show how I sort it. I'll take a screenshot of my parameters for each report, put it on a Word document, and upload it.
Yep. We'll make sure
I'll do that.
We'll make sure.
But honestly, guys.
Stop.
But I know, but what I'm saying, honestly, guys.
Can we stop for just 1 second?
Yeah.
So listen, I know this sounds like a lot, but once you do it once, you're good. So we will make sure that there's going to be in the Google Drive we're going to create for this, in the description on our YouTube channel. This is very important. A lot of people say, I can't find this, I can't find that. I'm telling you, it will be in the description. You will click the Google Drive. Justin will have parameters. It may not be tonight. Give us some time. We will have the parameters.
I'll do it tonight.
For every single title, so you can print it out and you can click, and you can plug it in. We got it.
But what I'm saying is, you guys as leaders, I'm going to do this, but what I want to say is you have to create the parameters based off the behaviors you want to recognize as a leader. So you have to know how somebody promotes. So what I'm saying is everything below a director is GWV, PRV, and active frontline. All right, and their titles. You just need to select the titles that they're not at. So for instance, for superstar consultant, it's still 500. The GWV I put at 4,000 because they need to at least be at that for me to start saying, hey, this person's close to being a freaking superstar consultant. And then 3 active frontline because that's what they need to be. After they hit superstar consultant, I never change the active frontline again. I keep it at 3 because that's the behavior they have to have. Now, once they hit director, Chloe and I may have the mindset you need to have at least 8 to 10 active frontline to stay consistent being paid as a director. But that's something we coach because we coach the effectiveness. We don't coach the activities. We just help them identify the right activities and we coach their effectiveness. And I think that's the thing that a lot of people miss as a leader. We try to tell people what to do. That's not what we do. We tell people what they're doing is not effective. So they change the behavior and their mindset to be effective. All right. So I will post the parameters later, but you guys have to start understanding the compensation plan yourselves so you can start developing your leaders and under you to where they can start creating these reports of how you teach them because they learn better from you. And that's another thing. Don't try to be Chloe and Justin whenever you're doing these trainings. I know we're a different breed. We're very weird, very strange, but that's crazy. Be who you are and they learn from you because they signed up under you. They didn't sign up under Chloe and Justin. They signed up under you for a reason because they want to learn from you and help you build your team. So let them learn how they want to learn. All right. Now, real quick, because we're running out of time, I'm going to show, actually, I think that's all I did just because I wanted to show you guys an example. So what I'll do is I'll just post the parameters later. So let me stop sharing. Now we're